Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I do love you, but
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something to do. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Survivor Now Aftershow. Great episode tonight, and excited to talk about it. My name's Josh. I will be hosting and facilitating the conversation tonight, and with me tonight is Tori. How are you doing, Tori?
I'm doing well, Josh. I'm excited to talk this episode. We were talking right before we got on here, as you know, about how we got a really good episode tonight. So I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, definitely gives us a whole lot to talk about. I'm excited to get into it. With us, as always, is from seasons 44 and 45, Bruce. How are you doing tonight, Bruce?
What's up, peeps? How we doing? Doing pretty well. Having a damn good time. And we have a special guest today. I'll let you introduce who he is, but I'm going to give you a quick little something.
Yes, and special guest joining us for just for tonight, also from season 45. It's Jake. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing great. I just got a new job, so I'm really hyped. I just started as the in-house counsel at AARP, and I investigate fraud now. And they sent me after Bruce, and I'm happy to report absolutely no fraud. Benefits are entirely warranted. And I'm so happy for him. Great job, buddy.
Still not fast enough to catch me if you could.
I was wondering where that was going. Cool. Well, yes, excited to get into this. So, yeah, we, in typical new era fashion, we have a merge episode of some sort, and then we can't just continue going on. We got to do something else. So, there's gives us a whole lot to talk about with what they did tonight. So, but I guess before we get into all of the the shenanigans with the vote and everything, comes back and we see kind of a reaction where Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie come back tail between their legs, feeling like they just got blindsided, got left out of something. Jake or Bruce, either one of you guys, can you relate to that from your experience at all?
No, not at all. I was on the top the whole time. You definitely
what's
can.
It like?
And they did it. They came back and they were really no notes. Like I think they came back and they were all really great about it. Obviously, they felt like Savannah was the next target. Obviously, she was able to flip that around with the immunity. We don't know if she flipped that around socially, but obviously she was immune tonight. But in terms of like Rizzo and Sophie, who the target was not on, had it been a normal vote tonight, I felt like they reintegrated themselves pretty well. And you heard it, Savannah or Rizzo. So, I mean, you got to give all the props to Blue Sophie in that respect, where you didn't hear her name once early on in the episode.
Yeah, for real. And we see, like, she says a confessional, when it's still dark out, like, oh yeah, I know, I'm ready to cut bait with them if I need to, because we're on the bottom, we're good to go. I don't know. Bruce, what do you think about that approach from Blue Sophie?
It's this phrase has been dragged through the mud a million times. Anyone but me, So she did what she needed to do. Yes, she integrated herself back in, but I see it as at this point in time of the game, everybody's pissed off about something, and you're trying as hard as humanly possible not to let people know how pissed off you are. But she, kept her cool as much as humanly possible, and she did enough to be able to not be mentioned as far as for on television. But I will tell you this: she was mentioned. She was definitely mentioned. It's just so that
You think she was mentioned over Rizzo or Savannah, though? Like if they were all
over?
sitting there.
No, I don't want to say over.
I think Sophie was third.
In the conversation.
But out of those three, you think she was first or second?
Probably second.
You think second over who? Who's third then?
Let's see. Rizzo was probably number one, but Savannah. As much, and it's a crappy scenario that we all have in our minds right now. Like as much as we want to be as open as humanly possible and say, okay, the real conversations were on XYZ person, we know who's going to be going far. So it's like kind of your mind is tainted anyway. So you want to say
Because of
yes,
50.
Savannah, yes, Rizzo, and they're throwing it out there production wise just for the simple fact that we know they're coming back at 50. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
Allegedly.
just give us all of the BS that we want to get right now and just get us through to 50. Like that's
See, because I would have thought, based on the episode, and obviously the edit is the edit, Savannah was target number 1, then Rizzo, then Sophie. I think out of those 3, I personally felt like Sophie
right. So
the lowest on the totem pole, regardless of the majority's target.
Guys also give based
flip it
on
on.
what happened last week, where it seemed like the conversation was between Nate and Savannah and Rizzo, and Sophie, Blue Sophie was not really. I'm sure, like Jake said, she probably was talked about, but like, was she talked about above the other two? Probably not, because the other 3 all had bigger threat levels for various reasons.
I think Sophie's in a good spot because I think the worst Sophie can do at this point is go out in the Mary spot of 48, like 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think her floor is 7.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she hits her floor, but I think, the next, what are they, 5 now? She's not going to the next 2 votes.
She's definitely not going in the next 2 votes. No, because if she's definitely in that good position where she's in the middle between, the OG red and yellow, and and if they're, even though she is with Rizzo and Savannah, like if they're taking a swing, but they're not looking at her. People might even look at Alex before they look at her. So she seems to be in a good spot. Yeah. Okay. So the other drama coming back from camp was that MC played her idol, and people had feelings about that. Tori, what do you think about the fallout of MC playing her idol? Did you expect that at all?
I honestly was not expecting that. I was saying to Ollie on the pre-show that normally I felt like we would get this type of fallout because, when somebody plays their idol, when they're seemingly on the right side of the vote and with the numbers, it creates this mistrust. But I thought that this would have been one of the times where that wouldn't happen, just because I thought people would understand, like, okay, MC's idol is basically public knowledge, or like a lot of people knew that, at least like there were people that knew about the idol. So if she would have like made sure that they knew that coming back to camp, that this was a public idol, essentially, like Savannah knew about it, she went back and told her people. I think that they would have understood that she needed to play it in that moment, just because like it gets the target off of her back later on. However, Jawan was like the main person that was kind of saying, I don't really trust MC anymore. So I was surprised by that.
Well, here's the thing. Like, so Jawan had that moment, and if I understand it correctly, Savannah went back and told everybody that she had it. So you're right. In being someone that has been on a beach, had an idol, everybody knew about it, and was constantly being told, well, we would work with you until you get rid of that idol. I'm like, well, what the hell else am I going to stand on? So I'm holding on to this idol as long as I possibly could. Actually went home with it, whatever it is, what it is. But the fact of the matter is that even though they tell you that, you're a threat. MC was a threat. So the same scenario would happen to me. Play my idol. Okay, idol's going, don't win immunity. Guess what? I go home. So whoever says that they're gonna, we'll definitely work with you, and we just want to, get rid of that idol, and we'll move forward in the game. No, they'll move forward in the game unless you have a pretty big alliance to be able to help you out.
Also, too, I do think that there is like, in I don't think it's talked about really, but like, I think if you find an idol once, I think that you have an advantage at finding an idol again. Like, I mean, specifically, like when Bruce found his, like we were all out in a group. Like I know exactly where you found yours. Yep. Like we were together with a couple other people, and like in terms of me finding my idol, like that I felt benefited by already not personally finding it, but finding it and knowing exactly where you found it, dude. And like I do think that maybe was a slight factor in that, where it's and to the MC Sophie of it all, that MC had previously found one.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of understand where people are coming from, like, oh, you didn't trust us, how come you didn't trust us? But I think that Tori was highlighting some really valid reasons why MC would play her idol, because it is public and it's easy to like kind of get that target off of you by being like, hey, listen, I don't have the idol anymore, this is fair game. And also she said, it's my very first one. I feel like it's so understandable. Like a lot of people, Sophie, Blue Sophie, she's been to tribal council, I think, like 5 times. You know, some of these other people have been like 3 or 4 times, and she's won. She and Christina and Yellow Sophie, they didn't go to tribal council at all before the merge, so they were in a really tough spot, having to kind of make that decision. You know, like trying to trust their instincts, like when everyone else has done this already. It's a big merge vote, and they don't know what it feels like to survive a vote. And so I feel like it's super understandable to not want to, you know, put any risk on there at all, just because you don't know what it feels like. And so I don't know. She had a lot of reasons to do it, and it's a bummer that people didn't really pick up what she was laying down.
Yeah, I think I agree with Tori. Like, it's the only thing I would change. Like, if I was her, I would have played it. Especially, like, I think it's a massive, like, kind of disadvantage to, like, not have that experience with tribal. Like, I think, like, obviously Rizzo was fine. Rizzo did get blindsided, like, you know, results oriented a little bit, but there's such a disadvantage at, like, not getting that anxiety, like, so far into the game, like, having those relationships tested. And I think that MC made the right decision on playing it. I think if she was going to play it and some people knew about it, it's why not tell people?
Yeah.
Like, even if you catch Jawan and Sage, like, maybe they're lying to you, maybe they're not. I do feel like you kind of ingratiate them even more, even if they were lying to you and they're not voting with you.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with you, Jake, but it has to be
Right.
known. It has to be known on that beach. There's 10 of them left. Everybody knows about the idol. They had to have all known about it. I'm sorry, we're in town. Sorry, as 11 at the time because Nate was still there. They all had to have known about it. So with Jawan saying that, maybe it's along the lines of she didn't come to me personally and say, "Hey, guess what? I found this." She probably did the assumptive thing that everybody knows about a damn thing now because, you know, Savannah went and told everybody. So, and that information spreads quick. So I don't know. It's just a curse. It's a blessing and a curse all at the same time when you do find an idol.
Yeah.
I think, and speaking honestly, if more than 2 people know about it, I would just assume that everyone knows.
Yeah.
I think you can keep it in 2 at the most. But speaking of blessing and a curse, I'm really high on Christina. I'm a huge Christina fan, and I feel like, and if I'm wrong. Shoot me in the face. But, like, I was bummed that Christina found the idol.
Oh, really?
I feel like she was in probably the best spot in the game, but I feel like with Christina finding the idol, it kind of gives unnecessary attention to her, where, like, I would have even pointed maybe like, oh, it's over here, like, flip around Alex or Steven and let them have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Christina's not going home. I mean, I think the only way I see Christina going home, because I think she's so well ingratiated with so many people, and I think she has a really strong social game. I was almost disappointed that she found it. And I'm a huge Christina fan. If I'm wrong, by all means. But I was like, shit.
I'm disappointed the way how she found it because it was the group. It was a group hunt.
Yeah, and it's 2 people. Alex doesn't give a shit. He'll tell people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So Tori, Bruce, what do you guys think? What do you think about Jake's take that it's not a good thing for Christina to find the idol?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an Alex rooter since the beginning. Like, I've really wanted to see Alex do well. And so in this moment, I mean, obviously this is like a little bit of bias, just like throughout the season, everybody has their people, but I really wanted Alex to find the idol. I kind of want to see Alex do something, shake things up, like, I don't know, get a little more momentum in the game. Like, we obviously saw him a lot in the beginning because his tribe was losing and he went through all these amazing tribals and survived them. And now he's been a little quieter, and everybody has, you know, like, everybody kind of ebbs and flows throughout the season, but I want to see more of Alex. So perhaps, again, I am biased, but yeah, I kind of agree with you.
You know, it's you see sometimes, I'm thinking, like, you know, in Big Brother, sometimes people will throw competitions because they're like, oh, I don't need this power, I don't need this heat, I don't need this, you know, I don't need this smoke because I'm in a good spot right now. And I wonder if, like, the Survivor equivalent of that could be like, oh, hey, here's an idol, but I don't want it. It's actually more powerful to know who has it and be in good with someone who has it because the target remains off of me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, we've seen people time and time again in Survivor history, like, sit on an idol and then use it in a really clutch time, or use it in a way to benefit their game. So you never know when you're going to need it. Yeah. But that's an interesting take for sure. Because Christina, like you're totally right that her threat level is definitely a little bit elevated now, and Alex at least seems to be like looking at her in a way that he wasn't before.
Yeah, like I think in terms of like if you're looking at old Hina, right? OG Hina. I don't know. We don't know how people are viewing Steven, but like at least in terms of the edit, like Steven clearly seems like the ringleader of old Hina. MC is clearly a beast. Sophie has already won immunity. And Christina just seems like this very, very sweet woman who has made great relationships. And I don't feel like if you're trying to take a chip shot, you'd go for another member of Hina, old Hina, you know?
Yeah, I think Christina.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because
I hope so.
The mom in it. It's weird. She has like the mom in it. The Sari in it. She just is the darling, like it, and no shade whatsoever. I'm thoroughly enjoying that she's in this position. Two reasons: one, because she seems like a very likable person, and secondly, the last person I have left on my draft.
I was going to say
points. But yeah, so I really, I'm happy she got it. I hate the way how she got it, and I think that with everything that we've already said, she might turn out to be okay having this thing, and it might not. It could elevate her threat level a little bit, but it's Christina. She has an idol. Like it's fine. It's a she said it was a community idol, so now it's for everybody, and they will believe that. If they believe Rizzo when Rizzo said it, come on, like Jake, did you believe me when I told you? Like,
yeah, I thought we were friends. What the fuck, man? No. It was one of those things where it's like you can use a threat, but like, did I know you're gonna play it for me? It's a game.
I mean, that's kind of what
might happen though. Really quick, like when it comes to Christina's idol, like obviously Alex and Steven saw her find it. I wonder if the way that Alex might shake things up, if we do see him shake things up, is by revealing to somebody like Sophie B that she has this idol, and then Sophie uses her advantage on MC's idol. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, not MC's idol, Christina's idol.
Yep.
Yeah,
that definitely could happen too.
Actually, she's probably honestly, call it right now. Ding, ding. That's who Sophie is going to use her advantage on.
I think so.
Yeah, because I mean, if she's working with Rizzo, she doesn't have as much reason to take his idol. So probably.
I'm going to call it right now. Alex is going to tell her, and Alex is going to have egg on his face because Sophie's going to take that thing. Blue Sophie's going to take that thing right from Christina.
I think this is the first time. I mean, we've seen her point out multiple times how she's going to be sitting on that knowledge is power, not tell anybody about it. I think they've pointed that out in multiple episodes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think in the prior instances in seasons 41, 42, 43, when knowledge is power was there, like people knew about it. Like even if it was just one other person, like people knew. And so I think, and that was how it got foiled. At least when it was attempted to get used in 41 and 42, it got foiled because, they told people and then it got, word got around and then people played around it. But I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be the first successful knowledge is power play, which
I hope so.
Can I bitch about knowledge is power?
Yes, please.
I'm going to bitch about knowledge is power. I don't like knowledge is power at all. Because I think it caused unforced errors on being the concern that knowledge is power exists. I think
on your season, it caused unforced errors.
Yes, on 45. Like, I think if you find something, and it should be yours. I feel like the existence of the knowledge is power in general would push people to not tell other people about advantages. And in terms of TV, that is worse TV. You will still have, without knowledge power, you will still have people who tell no one about an advantage found. But with knowledge is power, there's significantly less potential for people to tell other people about their advantages. And I think that's where things can get really interesting in terms of strategy. I think it offers a potential chilling effect on the strategy of the game. And I understand the appeal of if Liana actually got the idol from Xander, that would have been fun. But I just feel like going down the line, it offers worse potential than the one instance of really good TV you can actually get.
I think
I'm going to push back on that, please, Jake.
You like it?
So I like it for the fact that so let's go back to something that you said on 45. Yes. There was a threat of knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
Where did that threat come from?
We brought it up
Who's we?
because we thought it might exist.
Yeah. Good. Anyway, let's go back to see. I'm the one that brought that up. I lied just to try to get that shit out there. It's just to get minds going a little bit. Okay. I
What?
remember that very vividly.
Why?
What we spoke about before, you might have been a little bit right, but that's for another conversation. The other reason why I like knowledge is power is this: is that yes, it's going to.
Why'd you bring it up? No, why'd you bring it up?
We'll talk about it in a minute. It's good. Let me finish my thought. I'm an AARP member, so I gotta get this stuff out.
You are a proud card holder.
So proud card holder. So what ends up happening is that if you have the knowledge is power that's out there, and yes, you were saying that, so it's going to make things a little bit more boring because people aren't going to want to tell people about their advantages, which is perfectly fine by me, because what happens is when you finally get hit up with those advantages when they're used, that's when you get the players going, "What? You had what?" And then it creates even more drama because I'm in a tight alliance with you. I didn't tell you I had an idol, but I use the idol to save myself. You are with me. Try to vote with me against someone else, and that we were successful doing that. But I still didn't tell you. So now you're pissed at me. That's going to screw up our alliance a little bit. I like that. That is the TV that I like to see. So now you have the knowledge is power. The knowledge is power is there. If it does work, perfectly fine. If it doesn't work, it also gives the ability for more drama. Because now who the hell ratted me out that's in my group that said the guy only told 2 people and they're both sitting right here? Which one of you 2 ratted me out to the person with knowledge of power that wasn't supposed to be in our alliance? Oh, you're in alliance with someone else. So it is either way, there's drama that's caused with it. And I do like that there is more drama with it being there, even the threat of it being there.
All right, I'm about to give a history lesson. I'm going to give a history lesson right now. This is Professor Jake. I'm going to run through the events in Survivor history that don't happen if there's the threat of knowledge is power, just off the top of my head.
Oh, do I need a pillow for this?
Okay.
I'm here for it.
Tony and Cagayan does not happen. Bag of Tricks does not happen if knowledge is power is in effect. The Three Amigos does not happen if knowledge is power is in effect. Yule going to Jonathan Penner, can we rebuild our alliance? Does not happen if knowledge is power is in effect or had happened previously. There is so many great moments in Survivor that don't happen due to the sanctity of you find something, it is now yours, unless you give it to someone else. Those events do not happen with knowledge is power. If knowledge is power happens right before Cook Islands, Yule's not doing that. Tony's not doing it.
Jacqueline, who did you vote for? Who I told you to vote for? That doesn't.
Jacqueline, who I voted? Yes,
that one doesn't happen. Yeah.
Because immediately I'm taking it. I don't think it. It was good once. I hate that the idea of players think that it's in the game because I think there's so much more wiggle room without it. I do see your point though, bro.
Yeah, and with it being there, and I completely understand those moments, those that you just rattled off the top of your head. I appreciate all of them. But what other moments could have happened?
Samoa is not entertaining at all. At all.
I mean, you can make arguments that it's not that entertaining anyway, but that's a different podcast.
You definitely can. It gets significantly
worse. We'll get to a recap.
I think it's actually.
It gets significantly.
That could be our next Patreon recap, Tori.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm not arguing that it's good. I'm arguing that it gets significantly worse if knowledge is power is a thing, right?
I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm with you for the most part. I don't know if I'm gonna go with you on the Survivor Samoa train, Jake, but I do agree with what you're saying on a lot of these things. And I think the thing that you said that has stuck out to me the most was how, yes, say like Liana took the idol from Xander in season 41. Like, would that have been fun? Yes, but at what cost? We want this great TV moment, but we're ignoring the ripple effects, and that is the case with so many bad twists. Is they want some big flashy explosive thing. I mean, case in point, Final Four fire making, like everyone's like, oh, it's so much better to see this like neck and neck battle for fire instead of a boring 3-1 vote. It's just like, who cares? That is not the point. You're sacrificing 5 minutes of maybe a fire making challenge, which could be super arbitrary, for actual strategy and actual voting people off and all of the downstream effects that has later on, where instead, there's so much that comes at the cost of that for the sake of this flashy TV moment. So I think that that philosophy for why we do, things like knowledge is power, yes, it could be a good moment, but again, at what cost?
Jake
I
killed
also
Fire
think
Nation, by the
that,
way.
like, with the knowledge is power, I said this on Survivor Social a couple weeks ago because we were talking about the episode where the knowledge is power was found. And I agree that knowledge is power is not one of the best advantages that we've seen. And I said that on the episode because I like all of your points. But one thing I said is that after that first time that we saw it, it kind of became like a way to make it was just like kind of what Josh was just saying, like a way to make another player look like an idiot. Now, the argument can be made every advantage in some capacity makes a player look silly or stupid or like is crapping their pants because their plan's not going to work out anymore. That's what advantages are built for. But I just feel like that was like kind of like what that advantage became. And that was like the sole purpose of it. Now, one thing I do like is that they've removed it from the game and players have kind of forgotten about it now. And now Sophie has one that nobody knows about. So I am excited to potentially see its use in the correct manner.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like, you know, because it had such a prominent role, obviously in 41, 42, and 43, but then the threat of it was hanging, at least in 44 and 45. And I don't remember if the threat of it was in the later seasons, but because it's been a thing in the new era, I feel like you kind of want to see it get played once just to see what it looks like, you know? So I won't hate it. And I'm glad of all people to get it. I'm glad it was Sophie B who got it.
I agree.
Cool. So yeah, other stuff before the challenge. I don't know. It seemed like we were like moving towards a potentially like pretty interesting vote where like, yeah, Savannah and Rizzo and Sophie, their backs are against the wall, but also, you know, an alliance of 7 with 10 people left in the game. Like, how tight is that? And how is it in all their best interest to stick with that in the new era? I feel like we're moving towards something interesting. And then, yeah, we got some good, content, some probably the most you know, vulnerable, like humanizing content we've gotten from Savannah so far, just sharing more about like, you know, what her experience of like, you know, being on the outs and feeling like people have all these opinions of her and their experience of her without getting to know her on a real level. Yeah, what did we think about the side of Savannah that we got to see tonight?
I got something real quick. I'm sorry, Jake. I just want to get this out because it makes my heart feel great. I'm gonna cue this up here real quick. Let's see if I can get it to work because you know my glasses are working, but they're old.
No one's having even a personal one-on-one relationship conversation with them. Because am I like a pariah at this point in time? It's a pariah. A pariah. It's a pariah. Someone that's kind of just lurking around and you know not a part of what's going on. Nobody's talking to you.
So I love the idea that she felt that way. Because it's given off this thing that Survivor's supposedly not doing anymore. Like she's this little villain, if you will, and it's already been hinted that she's playing this game so hard. And I believe it was Jawan. I'm scared of her. All this other stuff. Whether it's just that's just a talking point or whatever for Jawan, if he's actually scared of her, that's to be asked of him personally. But the fact is that it's good to have someone sitting in a situation where they do feel like they're the outcast, and then they brought in the personal side of it, which is understandable. And Survivor tends to have a little thing, a little tick towards this because they do it to people on a regular basis. They'll sit there and they'll have them like, oh, this person's becoming mean. She's a mean girl. This and the other, blah, blah, blah. He's a jerk. He's not likable, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they humanize him for a moment. Oh my God, this is so great. And then boom, they're going to go right back to kicking him in the nuts. And they're going to be this evil person again. So I think it's going to, and that actually happened in the episode. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but then Savannah's talking about, herself in the first person, it seemed like, and, how she's, deserves this and deserves that. Blah, blah, blah. It's almost like they're giving her a whiny, overprivileged type edit when we know that she's not that kind of a person. I know she's not that kind of person. I've met her. She's an awesome human being to speak to. But this is something that Survivor is doing, and I'm going to kind of throw it out there to people that are listening. Please just understand she's a human. We talk about the person that is on the show that we see, not the person that's in real life. So even like my wife was like, I can't stand her because you've been made not to stand her, not to be able to stand her because of the show. And I said, remember when we met her in Boston? And she's like, oh yeah. And then that was it. Anyway, yeah, it's for her to be able to be in that situation, we looked at as a pariah. listen, we're in an exclusive club because how many times has that word been used? So whatever. Thank you.
Not that many. I forgot that was the context of the pepperaya comment. So yeah,
That's crazy. I mean, I think too, it's like also it's like at least myself and I think a lot of former contestants like Bruce, I'm sure you feel the same way, and like you guys like host and Survivor now, like we're very in touch with like the internet take on. I'm been a Savannah fan. I think Savannah feels very old school to me, and there's something like refreshing about her being on the show. And I think she's very, very interesting, and I always love hearing her narration. Like I was just thinking, like the TV, the people watching in the audience versus the people on the internet. Like I remember when I was rooting for Savannah tonight too. When I was a freshman in college, my first semester of undergrad, Cambodia was on, and me and my English professor got into an argument over Andrew Savage versus Sierra Easton. And I think the internet was very much Sierra Easton fans. And we had a huge debate in class. No one knew what we were talking about. Andrew Savage versus Sierra Easton. And she was very much pro Andrew Savage. I was very much pro Sierra Easton because, you know, she voted out her mom and I was into the hype. But but I think too, it's like, I think the internet may have given her some shit, but like Savannah's a lot of fun. And I also want to appreciate Savannah in terms of like having that moment and trying to go to Steven. I don't know if that was like a strategy move. I'm going to assume it was because I think she's a shrewd player of like explaining that story about her prior work experience where she had a negative, had multiple negative interactions with prior coworkers. I don't know if Steven was the best person for that because he's so well insulated. The right person to go may have been more on the outside. Like I think there would be better people to give the was it the appeal to pathos, I believe, than Steven. Steven may have been a more logos guy, and I feel like pathos. I would have gone to a Christina, maybe a Jawan, maybe a Sage.
Yeah,
I don't feel
Who
like
does Steven remind you of though?
To hear that story. What?
Who does Savannah remind you of?
Tonight,
Old school player. No,
I mean, a lot of people are saying a lot of people say Parvati. Tonight, I was.
You want to say Parvati, but like everyone says Parvati. Like I'm going to try to think of a better example of
so
Savannah.
Tonight, I was actually sorry to cut you off, Jake, but I was actually thinking tonight. Brenda Lowe is another one who is like strong, confident, attractive. People are like either like drawn to her aura or kind of been like, oh, who does she think she is? Why is she so high and mighty? Whatever. I think Brenda in Nicaragua, at least her first time playing, which was my freshman year of college. And I think that similarly, like when the tables got turned on Brenda, I think it was the episode that she got voted off. Everyone was all like, oh, she's running things, like, you know, Chase and Sash, you guys are idiots. Like, why are you guys falling for her? She's got everyone wrapped around her finger. When it's like, okay, well, clearly not. Like, you guys all caught onto it and have turned on her. So clearly she's not that effective anymore. That was what I was thinking of tonight with Savannah. But it's obviously a more new era version of it with like the more humanizing edit and, you know, just the more balanced cast across the board. But seeing everyone respond to someone like Savannah did make me think of Brenda.
I'll give you Danielle DiLorenzo too. There's some Danielle DiLorenzo there that I want to throw in as well. I feel like the mix of those three women between Brenda, Parvati, and Danielle, I can kind of see that.
Wait, say more about Danielle.
Danielle, like I feel like, you know, it was interesting because I watched just last night. I watched a supercut of Shane Powers. And so Danielle obviously makes an appearance on that.
Yes.
And I feel like Danielle has some biting words, as Savannah has, and has gotten annoyed with some people on the island versus like, I don't know if we ever saw like Brent, and maybe I'm not remembering Nicaragua as well, because I'm not a huge Nicaragua fan other than her and Marty Piombo. But I feel like Danielle may have had some more cutting words similar to I'm a big Marty fan, man. You know, it's not
is it Marty or Maddie?
Marty.
Maddie.
He I got this buff off of
Benefits of coming
eBay
by
during
your own
COVID, and
stress.
he actually signed it. Like, I don't know.
Oh, is Marty on there?
So random. Yeah, it was like, oh, here's a buff that was signed by Marty. And then last year at an event in Madison, Wisconsin, I met Sash randomly, so he signed it too.
Wow.
Love it.
So random. I'm a big Nicaragua guy, obviously, but
R.I.P. Jane.
anyway,
I didn't
R.I.P.
know.
Jane.
She was great. She was great too. I did like her.
I think there's a lot of people from that cast that I liked, but yeah, Marty and Sash were a little more.
Tyrone.
Tyrone, yeah,
I love
he had some
Tyrone.
funny bits.
No,
Yeah, Jimmy T, another Boston guy. Like, we love Jimmy T.
Jimmy Johnson.
I love Jimmy T.
Jimmy
T.
T's awesome. He's so funny. He's so funny.
Jimmy T almost got me kicked off of Survivor 45. That's another story.
What?
Yeah, I'll have to share that one later. But
Survivor Now After Dark.
anyway, sorry.
Well,
Here,
I think,
No, it's good. It's good.
Jake, oh, sorry. Well, Jake, to your point, like I was gonna say the exact same thing about Savannah sharing her personal story with Steven of all people. I actually just kind of found that funny. I definitely think that if she would have shared it with one of the women, specifically Christina, just because Christina seems like she gets in touch with people's emotional side a little bit, I think that could have allowed, you know, some new people to open up to Savannah and welcome her in a little bit. But I did like seeing that side of her. I also do love a villain, though. I actually made a TikTok about that earlier, and we were talking all about it at the pre-show and how, like, female villains specifically, unfortunately, are just seen differently than male villains. Like, male villains are often seen as, like, strategic and so smart and so cutthroat. Like, what a badass. And for the women, it's almost like sometimes, like, I think part of it is, like, jealousy. Like, women get jealous of other women. So I think that some of the women might be jealous. And some of the men might just be like, oh, she's just like a mean girl that everyone's kind of like afraid of and doesn't really want to talk to, versus seeing her as being like, okay, willing to play the game, willing to be kind of like savage out there. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's like a whole conversation to be had about that. And we kind of had it at the pre-show.
Do you think that's why like a
feel like-
women's alliance never worked, like never panned out because of jealousy? I'm asking for
women's alliances to pan out. Black Widow Brigade is iconic for a reason.
Yeah, but there's only been one or two in like
no, exactly. That's what I'm
some
saying.
years of Survivor. So.
And I think you might be right about that. Like, I think women are like, oh, sure, I cheer on other women, unless it's like a super cute, smart, awesome woman like Savannah, and then they have a hard time rooting for her. You know, like, it's just true.
I will say something about like the edit, like
her hair's longer than mine.
Exactly.
I mean, like Rizzo.
Hair. I don't want to work with her.
Yeah, I mean, Rizzo's obviously a villain as well, right? Like, he's villainous tendencies, and like, you know, obviously he's shown to be like a sweet. I think he's got some villainous tendencies, right?
Who is this?
Rizzo?
Oh yeah, he's got some villainous tendencies.
Yeah. What do you mean? No,
I don't see it.
I think if you squint, you can see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to squint. I squint all the time. Anyway. Look, I'm squinting right now. Like, I can't see anything. I don't want to squint. Like, I look at it with Rizzo.
Cataracts.
Rizzo, I will not call him Rizgod, but Rizzo, I will always, by every episode, I'm going to say that. But I think he has this energy about him, this exuberance about playing the game that he loves, and you know, he's young and this, that, and the other. I think he's just projecting that. I don't think that he at all at any point in time is a villain. Like, no, what villain tendency has he had, Jake, with your look?
What? Really?
With that look.
What do you want me to do? And this isn't like, oh, Rizzo sucks. No, I really like Rizzo. I think Rizzo's like, obviously, like, he talks and it's like, oh yeah, no shit, he's on 50. But like, I think like, yeah, Rizzo being at the last trial, being like, I'm playing my idol tonight, and then just doesn't, like.
How is that villainous? How is that a villain? How do you
like
categorize that as a villain?
Like, I think like Savannah is unfairly, like, in comparison, getting more of a villain edit. Like, I'm sure you could show any single one of those people, dude, just complaining about other people. Like, you could make the Savannah to Jawan edit for any single person out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm saying in terms of strategic plays, like, yeah, it would be really easy to edit Rizzo more villainous in terms of for the casual audience, right? Like, we know, like, we're all really deep in this shit. That's why we're on Survivor Now right now. And we know they're like good people and, you know, whatever. We're not worried about that. But like, yeah, we enjoy the archetype and we enjoy the hero rising and the villain falling, or the villain sometimes succeeding. And I think that, yeah, I think you could definitely point to some things that Rizzo has done. And it's not to say he's a bad person at all. I think he's awesome.
I think the thing that really stands out to me about Savannah in particular and her being more of a villain is like how everyone else is talking about her and how everyone else is receiving her, because people don't really seem to be having that, seeing Rizzo that way.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the fans, I'm talking about the cast. Like Savannah, clearly there's this like we said with, with Brenda or Parvati, like there's this aura around her where people are like kind of drawn to her and they see that she's charming and magnetic, but then also at the same time is like, oh man, what she got going on? Is she like better than us? Like she's too good, she's too dangerous, we can't trust her. Which is really interesting because we just haven't seen that in a little bit. I think here we see Rizzo just maxing the confidence. I do think that is kind of his primary trait, and obviously I think that Savannah is clearly super confident as well, but
Yes.
that coming from like I don't know, an animated 25-year-old kid, from New York versus like, Savannah's in her early 30s, but like coming from like a woman who is more, has that like cunning corporate cutthroat vibe. I think that is received as more villainous, even though both of them, they're both clearly just like super confident.
Remember what you said. He's cute, long hair, blah, blah, blah. Don't be confident, because if you're confident, you're a bitch. Like it's just it's silly, it's stupid how that works. It is, but a guy says it. Oh, I'm only 5'10", but I act like I'm 7'2". La la la. Oh my god, he's such a strong man. Oh, we need to follow what he wants to do. Like, come on, like this.
Yes.
Again, it's a social experiment. That is what Survivor is based
and
on.
we could do a whole podcast, a whole series of podcasts about the men on Survivor that have a little bit of unearned confidence that the show just eats up and the fan base just eats up. We could, I mean, there's a million of them. There's so many. We could do a whole,
It might just be all of them.
I don't know. I don't know. Like these two guys right here. I think they're pretty good ones. I don't know about that.
Definitely not 5'10".
Agreed.
I am 5'10" all day. Don't make me come through this damn computer.
5'10" too. We're both 5'10".
Oh man. Okay, so like I said, it seemed like we were shaping up to a good, a really interesting. How's this going to work out? But then we go to this twist. Where after the merge vote, we have two groups of five, only five of them are safe, five are not, and only the five who are vulnerable are going to tribal council. Who wants to take this first?
Love it.
All right,
I'm cool with it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. It's better than the entire split tribal. I love the advantage. If you're going to do a split tribal, I want to see it done this way. This was my favorite way it's been done.
Okay, but like
group in two.
As opposed to just, having all 10 of them go to tribal council?
Sure, that'd be better, but they're not going to do that. They're going to do it? You think if they're going to do it, let me know. I'd be all for it. But it's not going to happen. And because they love this shit. And I'm not going to try to get them to hate it, because they won't. But like, if they're going to do it, out of all the ways they've done it's just straight split tribal versus the way they did it in 44, versus the way they did it in 47, versus the way they did it now, this one was my favorite.
I'm with you there.
Thank you.
That it's better than the split tribal where both of them go. It's better than what they did in 44 and 47.
And you know what I like about this? Is that it's a straight. The merge vote was a straight vote.
Yeah,
it was a straight vote. And you know what? To be fair to everyone has had the opportunity to make relationships with other people. That's what I like about it. And you know what? If you get a raw cut, you get a raw cut. But you've had the opportunity to make a relationship and improve your spot with every single one of those people. And if you're going to do it, if you're going to do a split tribal, this is the way to do it, out of the way they've done it already in the new era.
All right, Bruce.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
You see my hand and not waving in front of the camera. The fact of the matter is I effing hate it. Jake, you just said it a second ago. Oh, they get to meet with other people, this, that, and the other. They've done so much to build up and put all this blood, sweat, and tears and all the conversations and this, that, and the other. I trust you. I trust you. Hey, we good? We good? Yeah, we're good. Perfect. All right. Well, what? 3 of my people over there, and I'm over here with a sitting duck with it. come on, man. Like, what is that? Doesn't make any clear sense to me. This is a social experiment. We're playing a game, and a game that a part of it is you have to build relationships to keep you and help you go further in the game. You can't build a relationship with every single person. So if you now split them up, and now if 4 of your people are there, and you got one person who's a lame duck, oh, bye, buddy. But again, to that lame duck, they did the same thing with 4 people on the other side. You're taking it away from them. Yes, go through the whole thing. Let them do their thing. Half of you get to eat. Everybody goes to tribal, and these people are immune. Fine, go right ahead. Why is it that the person that wins gets to eat? They're immune. They get another trinket, and then all of a sudden they don't. Oh, you don't have to use that trinket. You can use that trinket later on.
I think it's an extra vote.
I don't give a shit. It's still something. It's still an additional something, and it just gives too much power in one person's hands, and then it annihilates everybody else's power.
Can you point to a season in the new era?
No, I can't. I don't have that thing up here that says I remember season 1, episode 3.
I'm only asking
4
you
minutes in.
seasons that you could have been cast for. I'm only asking seasons that you could have been cast for. What split tribal was more fair than this one? Because additionally, and might add, this is the first time in the new era where they've done 2 swaps, and there was more potential for people to make relationships with all the other people there. Please point to a split tribal that was more fair than this one. I don't like split tribals, but if they're going to do it, this was the most fair one.
And the thing is I will tune out. I will tune out because I hate split tribals. I hate them. I want them to all be together because they put the work in. I don't know exactly what season and what did what. You're not going to get that answer from me. You're not going to get that answer. Sorry, not going to have. Josh, if you want to step in and give your
No, I mean, here's the deal: is that Jake is right that like every single season has in the new era has done a split tribal, either where they split into groups and both of them go, or they split into groups and one of them goes after the merge. So it's kind of like a random tribe swap for one round, but after the merge. Every single season has done that in one era, in one way or the other. And while this sucks less than what they've done in every other season, I can't get past the fact that this still sucks and it's unnecessary.
Yeah, sure.
Because and so yeah, Jake, I think I admire the piece you've made with the new era being what it is with these production shenanigans. I don't know. I can't get there right now with the split tribal just because I feel like we had something really good. Sorry, what?
You can't get there for what?
I can't get there with like accepting this for what it is.
Except like 10 times. Like
I know they have, but I really thought because they merged at 11 and had a regular vote, I thought we were going to be okay. And clearly the previews gave it away, whatever. So I was prepared for it, but I still hate it. So
not fair. I'll take that. I'm not telling anyone to like it. I just think if you're gonna do it, this was by far the most fair version of it.
That's a good glass half empty perspective that you're bringing to this whole situation, because it is. I'm watching with my wife and she's asking me like, "Oh, do you like this advantage? I think this is a cool advantage." I'm like, I mean, sure, if you're going to split them up like that, I do think it's better than what they did in 44 and 47, but I feel like it disrupts and stalls the momentum so much when you just arbitrarily cut it in half and don't just like let the results play out. You have it's so much of a shorter game anyway, and I don't know there. And because the last vote of the game is at the final 5, there's so much fewer like pure votes to be had. So just like let them do it. And I can't get past that.
Tori, what were you gonna say something?
Honestly, I'm loving these takes because my initial thought was that I don't like the whole split tribal. I think that when you make the merge, you make the merge. I'm done with seeing 2 tribes go against each other and one group wins something just because one person lasts the longest, even though somebody on your side could have been first out, or multiple people on your side could have been first out. I'm just not here for those people still winning something. However, I do like the points being made about why this was a better option than what we saw. I'm remembering 44. That's the one that sticks out for me. I think best case scenario tonight, if they absolutely had to split the tribes, is to just give the winning tribe or team, so Savannah's team in this case, give them a reward, but make everybody vulnerable. If you need to give everybody something or make groups somehow, give them some sort of a reward together. and then they're strategizing together, and then everybody together goes back to camp and votes like a normal vote. I don't know. And I do think that they've been like gearing us up to see some changes in Survivor 50. Like, for example, like the way that we saw the merge go down and not emergatory was like a big step forward towards like maybe we're seeing things go back to old school in certain ways. And we've seen a couple other things this season that have kind of been like that, in my opinion. So I feel like this would have been a good opportunity for them to just do away with those like the split tribe situation.
Yeah.
Sure would have been a good opportunity, but here we are.
Pass them by.
So in the challenge, it's a Survivor Classic. I think it was first introduced in Token Chains with, it got down to like JT and Coach, and those episode Coach got voted off. They've done it a bunch of times over the years, but it comes down to a really tough battle between Yellow Sophie and Savannah. And I probably could have pegged that Savannah would do really well in this, if not win, because she's like strong and tough, but also I feel like this caters more to like women of her size. But Sophie S, I mean, she was a baller. She did really, really well.
Yep.
Yeah,
she won last week. She won individual last week, and then she was very close to winning it today. So, if anything, the decision being made today and who was going home, that should have been taken very, very, very heavily.
I mean, and if they did this the way that they did in 40, 44 and 47, then like both like Sophie S, like she would have been immune too. It's interesting to see how that would have shaken things off, because then she wouldn't have told like MC that she was going to throw a vote on Joanne, and then all that, so it would have been interesting ripple effects had that happened. But yeah, definitely a super impressive showing from her.
Can I hype up Sophie S real quick?
Yeah, please.
I think Sophie S obviously got purple throughout the first half of the season, and like she won immunity last week. Great coming out party, whatever. I think she's been super interesting to listen to, and like I think a lot of people out there, like I'll be honest, someone from my family was like, "Why is this girl on this show?" And hearing her talk, I'm like, she's so entertaining now.
Yeah,
I think it's so unfortunate.
She's definitely got that Northeast energy in her too.
And I love Blue Sophie too. Blue Sophie's phenomenal. She's been great TV. It's like so unfortunate there's almost people named Sophie, because like seeing her talk tonight, it's like, shit, why haven't we not seen more of her? Her takes are so like interesting, and I love her way of narrating. And it's like, you'd think like from the first half of the season, oh yeah, it might be boring. Maybe she's just not like an interesting narrator. I think she's a very, very interesting narrator. And I think it's super unfortunate that there's two people named Sophie, and they're just like, look, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet that Blue Sophie goes farther than Yellow Sophie at this point. I've already said that Blue Sophie's floor is 7. I think Yellow Sophie's time is probably in the next 2 votes. That would
I thought tonight was her time.
I thought it was her time up until Rizzo said MC, and as soon as Rizzo said MC, I was watching the episode with a very good friend of mine, and I was like, MC's cooked. I was saying Sophie the whole episode up until Rizzo said MC, and I sold on MC. But I think Sophie's super interesting, and it's unfortunate that we've gotten such a limited amount of her, given how entertaining I thought she was tonight.
Yeah, I really like her too. I mean, I liked her in her pre-show interviews because she seems like someone who's like a real fan. She doesn't take nonsense, like we said, got that Northeast vibe that we were talking about a little bit pre-show.
Yeah,
but
I met her like at the RHAP New York, and I met her in Boston as well. And super cool. It's just
yeah, she seems great.
Where the fuck is she on TV? And it's like,
I know.
damn, we got it. I love it. Because like in person, I'm like, she's great. And then on TV, it's like, damn, where was she though? And now it's like, great, she's here. So happy she's here.
See, I like the little bit, going back however many episodes when, they've won fruit as a reward and she pushed back on it. Like, I loved that. I loved that she, like, it was quick. And she, like, was like on Jeff's case and like, listen, man, like, I know you want us to get excited and hyped up about this stuff, but like, do better. I love that she said that to him.
On Jeff's case than me.
Jake, do you
And I
remember when we got our fish and we were just like, oh, fish?
No,
Is someone gonna come cook those for us, or is it just gonna be like,
dude, they're like, oh, do it yourself cold cuts. Why the fuck is it do it yourself?
The one that
I would love-
that's
Put
the one
put meat on a fucking sandwich. It's
not that hard.
I was actually looking. I was walking really quick just to check and see like what do they got out there, and it was like whatever plates were there were thin, but then they were lifting the sandwiches up to their face, and the sandwiches were stuffed, so they at least they got some kind of a good amount of meat. Because I said to my wife, like, what are they gonna get? Bologna and some yellow cheese? Like, what's
no, maybe
The one that still sticks out to me after all these years, and that my friends who are more casual fans still remember, is Bruce, when you and Kendra and Julie got the rotisserie chicken, the $5 rotisserie chicken from Costco. No silverware, no sides, no nothing, just a singular rotisserie chicken.
Straight up caveman. The dirty ass hands too.
I mean, that one was good because at least you get the protein and everything. But like, man, how do a little bit.
Do better, production.
Do better. Oh man. Okay, we are gonna take a really quick ad break, and then when we come back, we will talk about everything that went down after the challenge with all the drama leading up to the vote. So if you stick around for us, hang on 1 minute, and we will be right back.
Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. Bracketology provides fantasy football and bracket-style games for Survivor and 33 other reality TV and award shows. We offer free-to-play, season-long fantasy games for Survivor across 4 different game types, ranging from a March Madness-style bracket to weekly elimination confidence pools, and finally to a fantasy football-style game where you draft a team of contestants each week. Depending on what they do and say during the episode, based on a predetermined list of rules, is how they earn or lose points. You can create and join a public league, like the Survivor Now League, or you can create private leagues with your friends. Make sure to check back in after the episode to see how your teams did. In addition, Bracketology also offers daily fantasy pools. Utilizing 2 in-app currencies, coins and bucks, users can enter pools with either currency, answering a slew of multiple choice questions about what they think will happen during the episode, or about other related Survivor or other pop culture news and contests. The top 25% of point scorers in each currency will receive a split of the prize pot. Play with coins for fun to climb the social leaderboard, or play with bucks for your chance to earn real cash prizes. Download the Bracketology app for free today. Good luck.
All right. Well, we get back from the challenge, and we see, everyone's all on Rizzo right away, and he says he's not going to play his idol. Were we surprised by that?
I love it. Dude, Rizzo's so much fun. I'm a huge Rizzo fan. Like, I'm going to play my idol. I'm not going to play my idol. Who knows? We don't. Great TV. As he would say, cinema.
Bruce, you got a different take?
No, I don't have a different take at all. I like it. Listen, it just leads to a little bit of additional paranoia and people having to schedule what it is they're going to do around him and not including him. Because you don't want to waste your vote on something and then potentially have Jake's very good word, which was catching shrapnel. You don't want to end up having to catch any of that because he plays his idol. So just leave him alone until oh, wait a minute, wouldn't it be so much easier if it wasn't just 5 effing people sitting there, when if everybody was there, and then you could then potentially get Rizzo to either A, play or not play, and then vote against him. Like, it's just,
then you could split on him or something like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I to Rizzo's credit, I respect that he says, to me, there's no difference between coming in 10th and coming in 4th. If I'm gonna win, I'm gonna need this idol beyond today, so I need to take this risk. So credit to him there. The way it was told to us, it seemed like everyone's like, oh yep, we're on Rizzo, he's got to go, and just like make him super comfortable, not play his idol. But then everyone decides to try to get cute with their strategy, starting with, again, the way it was told to us, it seems like it started when Sophie told MC, hey, I'm gonna have to throw a vote on Jawan, and then everything kind of spiraled from there. Tori, what do you think of the move from Sophie S to spill to MC?
Yeah, I understand why she was going in that direction. And I understand why she would tell MC out of everybody because, they were on the same original tribe and they didn't seem to be like against each other. I mean, I don't know how close they truly were, but I mean, they seemed like they kind of had to work together in this vote. So out of everybody there, it made sense to tell MC this idea. And to her credit, like it may have seemed obvious to like the other people that she was talking to about the vote that she would have to put someone else's name out there or put her vote on somebody else just because like what if the idol was played, then she knows it's coming back on herself. So if I'm anybody else, if I'm NC, if I'm Jawan, if I'm anybody else on that beach that's hearing this plan of voting out Rizzo, I already know that she's going to put her vote somewhere else to save herself. So I didn't hate this move. I mean, obviously, like you tell anybody and there's that risk of them going and telling somebody else, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think I am personally with Captain Obvious here saying that she should have done it but not said anything to anybody. I think that she, good on her for like being the one to be like, hey, you guys can tell Rizzo it's me. And we got to like pitch that to him because I think a lot of times people are kind of scared to put themselves out there like that or draw any sort of attention to themselves at all or even get one vote. So she can do that rather than trying to like push someone else. And then maybe people will get mad at her because then we've seen a lot of pushback in that way, including from, Jake's friends, Andrew Savage and Sierra Easton. Like that's been like a time where people being like, oh yeah, we're just going to say that the vote is so-and-so. Like that usually does not go well for the person who throws it out there. So good on Sophie for drawing it to herself. But yeah, I agree with Captain Obvious here that she should have just like kept that plan to protect against the ricochet. Like keep that to yourself. You got to keep that sort of thing airtight.
I'm gonna back up Tori on this. Like I think like results oriented. Like obviously was wrong. Obviously was wrong. Results oriented. I respect the move by Sophie to try to pull MC closer and establish that going forward. I see the play and I think there's a lot of merit to it. Obviously it was the wrong call, but I liked it. I liked it.
I wonder if maybe the move to say that like right before you leave the tribal council.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah. That would have been the right way to do it. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, look, just to cover your ass, just to cover my ass. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right before, well, let's just go. I got your back. I didn't say this to anyone else. I agree with that. I think that's great. I think that's a great opinion.
Yeah. And then because then we see that MC goes to Jawan and she's like, she feels like she needs to build trust with Jawan because Jawan was upset that she played her idol the night before. So she tells him, hey, listen, Sophie's throwing a vote your way. Jawan goes to Sage. Sage tells Sophie. And it's like all this stuff is going around behind Rizzo's back. From what we can tell, like Rizzo's like none the wiser that all this drama between like the majority alliance is happening there.
I think we also have to call out like MC made the wrong play by telling people.
Oh yeah,
I think like MC made the wrong play by telling people, and I've been a huge MC fan this whole season. Like I think MC, like I think if she dodges this, she's making the next 4 votes, no problem. Like that's just personally my opinion. I think if she had stayed tonight over Sophie, I wouldn't be concerned about her for a minute. And I think that and I'd be interested to hear. I'm interested to hear her exit interviews tomorrow as to why she made the decision to tell Jawan. But like looking at it and like someone correct me if I'm wrong because there's 2 tribe swaps, but I don't think up until the merge MC was ever on a tribe with Jawan.
She was not.
Sophie, I think they were on the first tribe,
the first 2,
and the swap tribe, the first swap together.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's they've only been together like 3 days at the most with Jawan versus her. She had at least 9. Is that right?
I think 10.
10, and then
I think Jason would have gotten voted off day 10. Yeah,
on the second swap, and it's like she's known Jawan for at most 3 days.
Yeah.
Versus
one of the things in regards to that, Jake, and as well as I do, that we all have a very acute case of diarrhea of the mouth. We always want to be talking to somebody about something.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We always want to be able to. We want to like be in the know with everything, and by being in the know with everything, you have to kind of throw out there what you've heard, what you've seen, what you do. So now,
Right.
she heard, and I'm going to bring it to this level. She probably felt a little bit more comfortable with Jawan, being a black male, her being a black woman, just those two talking. She wants to rebuild that relationship, because they were talking prior to, even if it was for 3 days. They were talking prior to. She found out that she broke Jawan's heart because she didn't tell him about the idol, and now she's trying to make amends. So it's kind of one of those things, but it's one of those things that just goes right back to, we always want to talk. We always want to know what's going on. We always tell people, well, not always, but it's a constant conversation of, people talking about their idols and everything like that and all their advantages. And letting people know, like, everybody wants to constantly speak and talk on this game. And that's because it's either you in the elements or you in talking to other people. And I believe there was something that was said. Somebody said something about, did I tell you about this? Because I think it was Savannah that said it to someone. Did I tell you about this? Because she told that story already to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your stories get recycled on a regular basis with different people. So they always want to talk, always want to bring stuff to the forefront, always want to be interesting to other people and kind of put yourself out and be a little more vulnerable. And that was MC's thing, I think, to be a little bit more vulnerable. But she didn't read the writing in the room that Jawan was tighter with other people. So here we are.
But I think it's the reason why I think it's the wrong play by MC, not trying to be results oriented, but had Sophie said, I'm going to throw a vote on Sage, I think you go tell Jawan if you're trying to rebuild it with Jawan. But if Jawan is the backup vote there, Jawan's not the right person to tell, regardless if you want to build trust with him, because then that's just going to blow the whole thing up, which is exactly what happened. And then MC goes home.
Yeah, but she also had the feeling.
If MC went to Sage, it was like, hey, I didn't tell you about my idol. This is what's happening. I hope it's not you or I, but this is what we need to do to move forward. And I'm trying to build trust with you just in case that does happen. Hopefully all 4 of us are here tomorrow. But I think with Jawan now, Jawan has to move. And with that, so before that happened, MC knows in her mind, Rizzo or Jawan is going in that circumstance. With MC telling Jawan, now it breaks up the whole pot.
Yep.
Yeah, but she didn't take ahead to that because she went to Jawan wanting to repair something that she knows that she kind of screwed up on by not telling him that he's mad. So it's kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of another. She's screwed either way she goes in regards to this scenario.
I agree, but I think that if she was gonna make that play of trying to build trust with someone she broke trust with, I think the move was Sage.
Yeah. I think I'm with Jake because she goes and tells Jawan, and I kind of understand why she wants to build the trust with him, but then also how do you expect him to respond in this case? Unless your end game is to flip everything on Sophie, which she did vote for Sophie. So maybe that was her end game. I don't know. I'm curious how she got there, but if she wants to vote for Rizzo and she wants Rizzo to go home, what is she telling Jawan for? Because how do you expect him to respond to that? He obviously you're giving him ammunition to take things and build momentum in a different direction. I think that, you guys have touched on this a little bit already, but every time you just decide to divulge information and every time you decide to sit on information is a decision to make. It's a game decision to make, and that has potential ramifications. But I don't know. My question for MC would be if I were, doing an exit interview with her tomorrow, I'd ask how did you see that going?
I wonder, do you guys think that, obviously there's still 10 players left this episode. Now there's 9 with MC gone, but with MC still there were 10 players left. However, as soon as the players make the merge, and I guess this is kind of a question for Jake and Bruce, as soon as players make the merge, are they already having their eyes on the end game? Because that could have been kind of where her head's at. And she might have already been thinking I want to get in Jawan's good graces because I think I have a good shot of winning against him. I want to be kind of bringing him along because she might know oh, nobody really takes him that seriously as a player. So I'm trying to go to the end with him. Do you think that her head was there, or do you think that she had other motives for telling him?
Jake, when did you start thinking about the end game? When did you start thinking about day 26?
After you went home. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, yeah, like it doesn't have like I don't think it really happens until like you're looking at like, you know, I mean the real point is like once you went home with an idol, it was who am I able to sit next to and beat, right? Because when you were in the game, it felt like it was you or me. You know, like people really wanted your idol gone, and it was you or me. But then after that, it's like I can coast for a vote or two, and like I had a pretty good idea of that. And then it was like, who do I need to be sitting next to? So for me, it was 7, but it might be different for different people. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, you had 7 people at the Nate vote who were in a really good spot. You know, like in terms of the first vote that we had at the merge, I didn't feel great about that, even though I didn't pick up any votes when J Maya went home, but I didn't feel great about that spot. And then especially after Caleb went home, I didn't feel great about my spot either. But I wouldn't be shocked to hear if they were thinking about Endgame more after being in the majority vote that significantly.
Yeah. I started thinking about it at 8 when I went home. And that was the first
I think
time
that would make sense.
That was the first time I started thinking about it, because if it all panned out the way that it was supposed to, it would have been, we would have started chipping away at the Reba 4, and we would have had our 4 then kind of go forward to the rest of the game. I went from being an 8 to 8 people in the game to being with 4 people at 4. You know what I mean? It was like that's where I went. I skipped 7, 6, 5. Like I skipped all of those, and that was my downfall for myself personally, because I know that had I just kind of kept my head down a little bit and not done that, I might have been okay, and I would have played my idol, and Jake, you would have went home. But then how would it have going further? I don't think I would have been able to skate for 7 and 6 and 5. I would have had to have won individual immunity again to get to that, and then have focus on other people, which then would have hopefully started chipping away at that Reba 4 at that point. And then I would have been in a different situation, maybe going at 4. But it's just, that's when I started thinking. So that once I started thinking that, and I felt a little, I don't want to say I felt a little invincible, because the plan that we had, the plan made sense.
It did. It was the best plan there. And I think Emily needed that plan to happen to win.
Right. And because she was going next. You know what I mean? So she was going next, and then they started chipping on. Then Drew was going. So it's like, okay, so Reba 4 was going after Emily, because Emily technically was the Reba 5. She's the 5th player. You know what I mean? So then they started eating each other from within.
They wanted, Drew and Austin wanted Emily or Julie. They didn't really care how that shook out. I think they were kind of like, whatever.
Either or, yeah.
That was my interpretation, but you'd have to ask them.
Yeah.
So, there had never been, just a real quick comment on the Emily vote. Like, there had never been a more straightforward day, in my opinion, in terms of like, it's Emily if Julie plays her idol, it's Julie if she doesn't.
Yeah, and that was the benefit of going back all the way back to the beginning of the episode when we're talking about shared idols or community idols. Like that was Julie getting the idol as a result of that, and we saw how that worked.
I didn't know about Julie's idol, but we were just like, if Julie has one, she's safe.
Yeah. So, do you guys think that Savannah coming to camp and potentially voting with them, do you think that for Sage and Joanne and MC and Sophie, do you think that had a big factor in them altering their plans?
Jake, I got a question for you. Jake, I'm sorry, before you answer that question, do you remember the conversation that Kendra had? Because Kendra was in the same scenario. Kendra went to the camp, was at the camp, and voted that day. So can you speak to potentially how they felt with Kendra being there?
I feel like it's much more normal than the Kendra thing. Because, like, for people who don't know, they edited it out of our season, but, like, we came in first in the first individual immunity challenge, like the team, or not
tribal immunity challenge.
Tribal immunity challenge.
Yeah, we did.
Came in first. Bruce and my team came in first, and we got given the opportunity to send one member to the losing tribe's camp, and they got a vote, which was Kendra. This was entirely edited out of the episode. It's recorded. Jeff says it on the podcast. It's not a secret. And Kendra was allowed to vote for one of the people who went home first from Lulu. Hannah obviously quit, so it didn't really have a major impact on the season, but she did go there. I think in terms, Bruce, of this being different, like, number one, it's an individual game now, and number two, everyone knows each other already. There's a little less get to know you kind of thing, and I think here, I think Savannah showing up immediately made Rizzo's chances of getting votes go down. Because now it's like, oh shit, not only is Rizzo sitting on an idol, but Rizzo also has a very close ally that everyone's aware of here. And it's like, now you already have MC and like Sophie and the Jawan of it all. Savannah showing up, it was immediately, there's no way Rizzo's even probably getting votes, let alone playing his idol.
Right, but why though? Because if all four of them still wanted to, like, they could have
vote for Rizzo.
Yeah,
but if you're one of those four people sitting there and like you're more than confident, like you expect all those people to, number one, Survivor's a group of 18 different people. You expect a random group of four people to all be able to keep their poker face. Look at this young guy Rizzo, clearly like a smart dude, and not have him pick up on anyone's tells, like, and then not try to point
by the way.
the
Did you see
direction.
him? If that timeline was correct, he was sitting there staring when right before Jeff was like, "It's time to read the votes," and everybody was done voting. They just had him staring, like looking, just to see if anyone was going to kind of go. So he was Hawkeye as much as humanly possible, and that, you would expect that to happen.
But you'd be doing that anyway, right?
Yeah, but even more so because he's got an idol. He needs to know whether to play it or not. So I think that his spidey sense was extremely high at that moment in time.
Yeah, I was kind of like in the mindset that Josh was in, where I was like, okay, like they can still pull this thing off. Like with Savannah there, he's probably even more overconfident that he doesn't have to play his idol. So now is like a better opportunity to vote for him. However, all the Jawan drama, like where MC tells Jawan whatever, seemed to have happened. It did happen before Savannah got there, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So like, I mean, as long as they didn't like edit that to look like it happened before she got there. But like from what we saw, it happened before she got there. So I think that Sophie is already feeling like, okay, that plan's like out the window. Jawan like might be shaky on like where he's voting because now he's heard his name. So now like I think that's where all of the paranoia sort of came from. So if it wasn't for that whole dramatic situation, I think that Josh, what you're saying would have made perfect sense still. Like I would have been like, okay, cool, Savannah's here. So that's 2 against 4.
Yeah. It is always I mean, I think like you said, Jake, there's 18 people. You got to have all of them keep their poker face on. But I don't know. I would have liked I would have liked to have thought that because they voted together the last round and, MC and Sophie have been together for a while. Jawan and Sage have been together for a while. So at least you have 2 duos that can kind of like lock in and build that trust together. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that they are clearly they've started to like think a little bit further down the road, think a little bit more about the self-preservation of it all. Yeah, because it would have taken like 1 or 2 people to be really hell-bent on, we're voting Rizzo, we're going to stick to the plan. But yeah, they kind of folded, which was, I mean, not the outcome I was rooting for. Let's just say that. But yeah, I mean, so we see, Savannah comes, she, has his entrance and everyone's like, she says she's going to bring all the chaos. I don't know if she brought like chaos necessarily, but like we talked about, it did kind of alter the dynamic some. And yeah, I mean, so what do we think of Savannah's decision to not use her vote and to bank it for later?
Absolutely correct. Number one,
Yeah,
she didn't tell anyone Rizzo. I love the shared secret between one other person, and also, I'm almost like Savannah coming to the beach, knowing she was like on the bottom, and now she's coming on the boat by herself,
wearing the necklace.
She's not even flaunting the necklace. She just knows she has it. She has all that confidence coming in. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. and I can put some fear into other people, and there's not going to be a lot of repercussions if I can just be kind of, oh, here's just a little fear for you. Enjoy it. Munch on that. I was like so happy for her. That had to be an amazing feeling. And I was like, damn, I wish I had a little bit of that. I wish I got some of that in Survivor. That would have been phenomenal. I cannot imagine a better food reward than having that little advantage and spreading fear amongst the other castmates. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, spreading fear like Nutella. But the other thing also is that, so now let's look at this, is that in a we know who's playing on 50 season, her going in with this level of confidence, everyone in their mind would think, oh, well, go ahead, keep it up with that. Karma's going to get you for the next week. Like, the next vote, you could be the one to go out. Like that's kind of where your mind would go, because you've seen people win immunity and be cocky as hell and try to, change votes on everybody's mind and, ordering this one around, this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden they're going the next week. They're not taken serious for the following vote, and then they're going the week after that. Like, we're at that point. We're not going to see that. Like, we can't even. We just look at it. It's like we're being force fed the edit of like, okay, we have to now deal with what's going on, and we can't utilize our imagination at this point in time that the cockiness is going to get her voted off the next week. Now it's like,
I don't even feel like she was like cocky. I feel like it was more of a confessional thing. I feel like her coming in, she's just confident. I'm not going home. If you have that necklace, you can be confident about not going home.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call that necessarily cocky. I feel like the cockiness that we can bring up may happen in confessionals where it's like, yeah, you're excited. Brag about that shit. You got it.
That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Do what you're going to do. I'm doing the same thing.
Especially after, being left out of the vote the night before and feeling like people are icing her out a little bit. Like, yeah, have your fun.
One of my favorite confessionals in Survivor 45. Bruce, how did it go? You're like holding the necklace and you're like, right? Is that how you did it?
Oh yeah, like I said, confessionals were that. I did it twice, by the way.
What?
I did that one time. The other one was like just I had so much fun in those confessionals, and it's not like you get like 8 seconds of the confessional that you have, but you're really sitting out there for like 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, and you're just talking shit and having so much fun and this and that, and with having the immunity idol, like having the necklaces, and it's like you want them to play most of that stuff, but they played the one thing that like literally, nobody knew that I did that. It was my own little personal cocky moment, like, and then Kendra was like, "That's how it'll work." What?
America knows now.
Yes, they do.
Oh man, yeah. I definitely don't think this is going to come back to bite Savannah because even if we didn't know what we potentially allegedly know about season 50, it does still seem like between Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie B, with the advantages they have, with the story they've gotten, with like the just the overall like edit and hype they've gotten in this season, and also just given how the other side, like they're seemingly like there's more of them, but it seems like a more random group that hasn't gotten as like built up of a story. I feel like we can kind of see where this is going, but I don't know. I think that if you have 3 people where at the very least they have one idol among them, I don't know. I think if you are MC and Sophie and Jawan and Sage, and you have someone like Rizzo like pinned in a corner, like you've got to take the shot because now there's 3 of them. Now it's like, even if it is you are a super strong 6, which they're clearly not, but even if they are, like 6 against 3 is when it could have been 7 against 2 with no idol in the picture. I think that this was a missed opportunity on their part.
Yeah, to not even put any votes on him was right?
That was wild.
Yeah.
And I love the editing when they showed. What's that?
Given like what everyone knew going into tribal, who should have put votes on him?
Yeah.
Like I feel like there was such a comedy of errors.
Yes.
Amongst the other people there, where it's like they put themselves in a position where why would any single one of them put a vote on Rizzo at this point?
Because it was still, I think, ultimately the right thing to do. I think they did get themselves in trouble, but like, I think the whole time I'm like, they really could just be like, this could be the long con, and they could just try and make Rizzo super comfortable.
But you're not going to do that after you hear that your name's out there.
I know.
There's just no way to do it.
Yeah. I think that Sophie, I mean, like I said, this is not the outcome I was rooting for tonight. I think Sophie telling MC was a mistake, and then MC going and ratting her out really just torpedoed it. And I think it's a common story in Survivor where like, oh, this would have been a really good plan, but then someone ratted it out to the wrong person, and then here we are. Yeah. Well, and I guess one other thing at Tribal Council I wanted to talk about real quick is like at the end we see MC get up, be like, "Hang on, Jeff, let me go whisper," but then we see nothing. Like we hear nothing that was said, and we see no subtitles. Going back to season 40 and before when they would do all the live travels with the whispering, but not give us any subtitles. Like, what are we doing here? What was that all about?
That was weird. I don't like it. If we're gonna do live travels, I want to hear it.
You gotta use the subtitles.
Like they were better with it the last 2 seasons. They were much better with the last 2 seasons. But here in line, like everybody's mic'd up. There's no way you didn't catch anything that they didn't say.
No, they got it. Like the line, like "Oh, my mom's here" by Sophie was
good.
Funny.
I
enjoyed that. But then, like as soon as that and like maybe they wanted to drive that comedic effect, which would have been fine. But then after that line said, "Show everything."
Yeah, I think live rivals should just not be allowed. I've never been a fan of them, even when you can hear what they're saying. I just think that they should be banned.
I would be like really interested to like see if they've ever like legitimately changed anything.
I was just going to say the very same thing, Jake.
Like game changes that got changed, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
That might
be the
Malcolm vote.
That man, I still haven't forgiven JT for that one. I think Edge of Extinction, that really big one, where Julia Carter ended up going home. That was like that one. Definitely the plan changed.
Was there?
I'm sure there were others. Yeah. Like Tony said.
I think.
Yeah, the one in Winners at War where Kim went home. Tony says like, "Oh, we went into that tribal council without the votes," but I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one felt like pretty pointless, and
I don't feel like it changed a thing. And like,
no, and
I would hope that is the case. I only want to hear something if it actually changes anything.
Yeah, we don't even know what happened, so that's the thing that was really frustrating. Well, before we wrap up, any final word? So we lost MC tonight. Bruce, his caption when we first got here was "No, not MC." So, any final words for our girl MC and what she brought to the season?
I think she's amazing. She's a powerhouse. I made a TikTok asking for her workout routine, and she responded. So that was cool. MC, we're gonna miss you. I mean, she was a lot of fun. I liked her.
She's the first. I think I saw this rolling around on Twitter before last week's episode. She's the first person to come in first at every single challenge up until the merge. Like, I made merge without going to a tribal council, but I did not make merge with coming in first every single time.
Is it just her? Because I guess you're right. She would have been on the second swap tribe. It would have been just her. Yeah. So, guess so.
Good for her.
Pretty impressive. She clearly is a beast in all those challenges, and I think that I don't think she participated in the first one, that Sophie S one, and this one for like a tall, like strong, like woman like her. Like I don't know if this one was really suited towards her, but she could have been a beast in all those immunity challenges had she survived.
Yeah, she's in a tough spot too, because like I feel like this was a perfect season competition wise for her. Because like, and I said this, I've said this to Kendra from our season, like a fair bit. Like, Kendra was the strongest woman, like physically the strongest woman, I believe, on our season. The unfortunate part about Kendra is that, like, if they are gonna, she's not the smallest woman out there, so she's not gonna be able to hang on a pole longer than Kelly or Dee, and she's not gonna be able to outmuscle Austin or Bruce, right? So she's in a shitty spot.
Yeah,
I don't think there are a lot of big dudes out there where I'm like, oh, MC cannot outmuscle that person. So I feel like there was opportunities for MC to win down the line, and I think that's like a missed opportunity where she gives very much Kendra athletic ability to me.
Oh yeah, no, she's clearly someone you'd not want to mess with, like physically, someone who is really strong and she seemed fun too. She I enjoyed her in confessionals. She was one of my pre-show favorites, and I drafted her on one of my teams. And I was rooting for her to go far. I think that her spilling the beans on Sophie really was unfortunate for her, but also for us as fans, because I feel like it could have been a lot more, obviously there's probably a million other things that went into it, but I don't know. We lost a good one tonight.
Well, she knew she was physical, and that's the kind of gameplay that I like. So does Abraham. Abraham loves the physical game. And she had that. She, give her a little bit of something to eat, and she probably wouldn't have made that move and having that conversation. In regards to talking to Juwan. So, I will definitely miss her being on television, because I know that she had much more to give, and I if they have a challenge next week, which is physical, she'll be home, kicking herself like, damn it. I would have dominated in that and been perfectly fine and won an immunity and whatever. Like, it goes to the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of life, but it just kind of is what it is. But I'm gonna definitely miss, her being on TV. I was on another podcast, talking about her and how much I truly appreciated, her story above and beyond her story, and then also what she brought to this game. So she will be missed.
Yes, she was a good casting find, and yeah. It's a bummer we lost her too soon. Well, she only got to go to one tribal council. Only survived one tribal council, but she was fun. Cool. Well, any final thoughts that we want to share before signing off tonight?
RIZGOD, Riz God, baby.
Stop saying that. You don't say that.
Is that your winner pick? Jake, is that your winner pick?
Is that my
your winner pick? Like,
no, I'm saying it slow to think about it for a second.
That's what Jake does when he's thinking. He
I was like,
slows right down.
Well, I slow right down so that I can have more time to think. It's not that I'm thinking slower; it's that I'm holding your old ass at bay. And no, actually, my winner pick, I'll give it right now. My winner pick is Sophie, Blue Sophie.
Me too.
My winner pick.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I know her floor is 7, but I think her ceiling is much higher, and she will hit that ceiling. I'm going Sophie B.
Nice work.
Love it.
Good work. Okay, Sorry, I'll wrap up with this then. Going to Tori's question that she's asked before when she hosts, like, who do we see getting voted off next week?
Sage.
Bruce says Sage.
Why?
Just because I think that she, as much as we see her antics and her, like, what did she say today? That she could be a mean girl too.
Mm-hmm.
I think she already has been, which is no shade just in regards to the. I think she has been, and I think that maybe that catches up to her. And I honestly do think as well, with all the crap that's out there, she might catch a raw deal somehow, some way. She's going to catch shrapnel from something, but I think that I really do think Sage is going home next.
All right. And Jake, how about you?
I'm between 2 for next week.
Do you want me to go to Tori first?
And no, I'll tell you who I'm going in between right now. I'm going to make a decision by the end of this monologue. But I'm between Steve and I'm between Sophie. I just think Yellow Sophie.
Yes.
Because obviously Blue Sophie's my winner pick.
Oh yes.
I think that routinely in the edit, like watching the show for a long time and understanding the edit, and like, oh, like someone like Yellow Sophie. You don't see much of her in the pre-merge. She pops up at the end of the pre-merge like a little bit, not really, and then goes out middle season. She might have like 2 or 3 episodes max where she's come out. But that's like me reading into the edit. Like if I'm thinking like strategically, I'm a little concerned about Steven. I think like personally looking out who I would want to vote out if I was in multiple different people's positions. I think Steven's the most connected. I think Steven's going next, which sucks because I love Steven. I'm a big Steven fan, but I think Steven's going next. I'll go with him.
Okay, so we got Bruce says Sage, Jake says Steven. Tori, who you got?
I was thinking along the same vein as Jake. It's going to be someone from Old Yellow. Like, I was kind of thinking Steven. I'll go with Christina. I think that they're going to do something I think Sophie's going to use her advantage on Christina. It might be a little early to say that, but I'm going to say that for now. I'm going to say she uses her advantage. They get her idol and they say goodbye to Christina.
Those are all good picks. I think
no, because Christina's on my team. And
So sorry, I'm on an opposing team. I can't.
I'm a huge
as long as it's one of you two, and yeah, as long as it's one of you two, I'm happy. I didn't draft it here, but I think it's going to be Yellow Sophie is going to be voted off next week. Wow. Partly because of what Jake was saying about the edit, but also partly because who is going to be, going to bat for her now? She's like got some of this heat already, and she's got the eyes on her. And they technically could point to how she threw Joanne's name out there. I just don't think she's in a super great position right now, and especially with Rizzo, Savannah, and Blue Sophie having all the advantages. Like I don't see any of them going, and if it's someone from the majority side, I don't feel great about Sophie S. I hope I'm wrong because I really, really like what we've seen from her, and she's really great. But I don't feel too good about her position going into this next episode.
I agree.
Would anyone be down to place bets? Like we all guess different people. If one of you, I would be willing to offer right now. If one of you guys are right, I'll Venmo you $5.
I'll Venmo the winner $5. If one of you guys right, I'll Venmo $5.
I'll Venmo any one of you guys $5 if someone else is right.
All right, yeah.
If I lose, do I gotta send you $5?
Huh?
If I lose, do I gotta send you $5? I don't know about all that.
Well,
no. Only if Jake's right.
I'm right.
Oh, if Jake's right.
Yeah.
So if I got Steven, Tori's got Christina, Josh. I'm sorry, Josh. You said Sophie,
Yellow Sophie.
And you said Sage.
Yeah.
If one of us is right, we each win. Someone has the potential to win $15.
Yeah, you win $15. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm in. I love it.
I love it. Handshake.
Yep.
We love it. Cool.
This is retweet this shit. See who wins.
This is official.
Y'all fuckers lose. I'm getting Dunkin' Donuts.
And we'll
You could have said a local spot, not Dunkin'.
Shut up, Starbucks.
That is a local spot in Boston, isn't
I like
it?
places better than Dunkin'
Garbage.
Delicacy.
Great spots.
No, I love a good local coffee shop, but I can never, ever, ever say no to Dunkin'. So, yeah.
I don't understand how the egg sandwiches all taste the same.
I mean, not the food; it's about the coffee, But anyway, on that note, Jake, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was a ton of fun. Really great conversation. And yeah, I don't know. This was a really great time. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Tori. Almost forgot the ads. We do have a few more shows that you can check out this week. We have, sorry, one second. There we go. Okay. Yes. Over on the right, you'll see the upcoming shows that we have this week. So tomorrow we have Survivor Social at 8 p.m. The guest Aaron O'Mara-Coons, who's a Survivor scientist, they say. So make sure you check that one out. Friday, 1 p.m. we have the Stock Watch where people, kind of get into the edit and the edgic of all of it. And with a special guest, Leslie Neese from Survivor China. So Tori, you did a podcast with her over the summer, and she's a really great big Survivor fan, and really good listen. And then on Sunday we got something for you at 5 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check out all of that. And otherwise, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, all of those things. Yes, share to your friends. Thank you to everyone who tunes in to watch live. It's a ton of fun to have you guys here in the comments. Yes. So make sure you do all that, and we will see you next time.